Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to another trading list video. And it's actually been so long since I made a list video, especially that's been orientated around this sort of hats thing, but this is going to be in what is my opinion of the 5 nicest possible miscs that can be received in unusual form. So this isn't going to be in order of price or anything like that. This is purely what I believe are the 5 nicest, most aesthetically pleasing misc cosmetics that can be received with an unusual effect. Regardless of if the item is limited or not and can no longer be unboxed in unusual form, this is actually kind of linked to the fact a video Jimmy made a couple weeks or so ago about the fact that no unusual miscs with any of the Halloween 2016 effects were unboxed. So there is no Starstorm Insomnia, no Tesla Coil, etc. unusual effects on any unusual miscs. So if that's the case, then it may just be a one-off, but that means no more unusual miscs have been unboxed or will be unboxed in the future. Like, I doubt they'll just completely kill off unusual miscs, like that seems a bit stupid, but I mean if they do, this is a perfect video to commemorate them. So without further ado, let's get into my 5th favourite unusual misc in Team Fortress 2. So coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the large Luchador for the heavy. This is the only possible misc that can be worn by the heavy that is available in unusual form, and in terms of trading it isn't too expensive. The item is essentially a wrestler's mask style kind of thing for the heavy, and it covers the vast majority of his face. It does have an equip region being a head skin. Overall, I actually really like this item. It has 3 different styles, of which they vary in pattern and colouring, and overall I just think it's a really nice cosmetic. My favourite style is probably the El Arma Ardiente. I probably pronounced that wrong, but it's more like a flame style and the colours are inverted, and overall it's just a really nice cosmetic. As I mentioned, it is fairly cheap and does allow you to combine your favourite unusual effects. Coming in at number 4 on the list, we have the Villain's Veil for the Sniper. This is a cosmetic that is equipped in the beard region of the Sniper, once again meaning that it can be worn with any other hat in the game. So essentially what this means is an unusual Villain's Veil can be combined with an unusual hat. That's the same concept of all of these in the video. The Villain's Veil is once again for the Sniper exclusively, and is essentially like a face bandana kind of thing. Once again, this is an unusual misc that has various styles, 3 to be precise: the Hired Gun, the Smooth Assassin, and the Trained Killer. My personal favourite is the Trained Killer, as it is a bandana with a skull sort of design on the front of it, and overall just makes the sniper look a lot more intimidating than the other designs featured. Overall, this is a really cool misc and does add a really nice aspect to the sniper that can only really be replicated with items such as the Bruiser's bandana, which unfortunately isn't in unusual. So at our midway spot in this list, we have the Blighted Beak for the medic. The Blighted Beak is one of 2 unusual miscs that can be worn by the medic, the other being of course the Das Hazmatan. The Blighted Beak is medic exclusive and is essentially a bird style mask meant to replicate the mask worn by the plague doctors during the time of the Black Death. The doctors actually used to put plants in the bottom of the nose area, believing that it was some sort of superstition that they wouldn't actually catch the plague if they were smelling pleasant things. So the doctors would go around treating plague infected patients with plants in the bottom of their masks. Some quick contextual knowledge there for you guys. However, of course, this didn't work. Back onto the Blighted Beak now. This is an unusual misc with 2 possible styles, being Yersinia Pestis, I believe that is. Apologies once again if my pronunciation is a little bit off, and Vibrio Chlore. I'm not really too sure what these mean. I'm assuming it's somehow related to the Plague Doctor theme, and I prefer the Vibrio Chlore just purely because when it's painted, it paints the eyes as opposed to the little beak part. Regardless, this is actually a really cool misc, and especially when you think about the Plague Doctor aesthetic you could make your medic have, this opens up so many possibilities for some really nice loadouts. Now onto our runner-up spot of the list. This is an unusual misc that I've had quite a few times and have been featured on the channel multiple times, being the Unusual Virtual Viewfinder. As mentioned, the Virtual Viewfinder can be worn by every single class in the game and fits the glasses slot, so this misc covers the eyes. It doesn't really clip with anything as far as I'm aware, apart from if you're planning on wearing anything like that covers the eyes, I suppose. But overall, it's just a really nice misc. I really do like the futuristic aspect it has to it, and the fact it combos well with so many hats in the game. It just opens up so many great possible loadouts that can be made for every single class in the game. Overall, this is probably one of my favourite miscs in the game, if not my favourite all-class misc that can be worn in unusual form. Over the antlers and the pullover, I'd say the Viewfinder is definitely my favourite. And coming in at the number 1 spot, my favourite unusual misc that can be worn in Team Fortress 2. I'm sure many of you saw this coming when I said the virtual viewfinder was the only all-class one in the list, and this is going to be the No Mercy for the Spy. As far as I'm aware, this is a retired misc with none being unboxed in unusual form in quite some time now, and makes it extremely limited and rare. I really like how the mask looks on its own, even when it's not in unusual form, as it is just a mask that covers the whole of the spy's face. Like, it completely covers the spy's face and gives him this sort of devil look. It has a very sharp smile with these horns sticking out the top of it. Once again, it does make your spy look very evil, and does open up a wide window of possible loadouts that can be made. Overall, I really like all of the cosmetics featured in this, but those are my 5 personal favourite unusual miscs. There are a few competitors that probably could have made it into the list, such as the Pyromancer's mask. I was very tempted to put that in, and I kind of wanted to fit the antlers in somewhere, but I'm very happy with the list that I made. But that is just about it for this video, guys. Let me know down below if you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do remember to leave a like, and just leave your opinions down below. But apart from that, guys, thank you again so much for watching, and peace.